Greetings, this is Michael W. Ford. Today's video is going to be a focus on using the tarot as an initiatory tool for path workings, but also for aspects of invocation, utilizing energies, spiritual energies that directly reflect from your totality of being, starting with the internal, from the subconscious, from the conscious mind, from one's daemon or instinctual guide, the mediator, and how to use these symbols accordingly. If you do like this video, please subscribe, like, spread it around. And I want to first start off with that you can use almost any type of tarot deck that you wish. What matters is that you have a rudimentary understanding of the use of the symbolism within the tarot. So understanding the basics of tarot. In consideration of that, it also goes to different aspects of tarot. And here, this is a cat, which I inherited. Kind of a, I guess, reluctant familiar. So if you hear that, don't let it distract you too much. She's off camera and wanting something probably. Now, with regard to tarot, any type of tarot can be used. In Luciferianism, it depends on what symbolism speaks to you. That's a very important thing. So you can use the Luciferian Tarot, which is out of print and a little bit more rare. You can use a tarot I recommend is the Galatia Tarot, which the Luciferian Apotheca makes available. The different types of kind of black magical tarot, but also Norse-inspired tarot, the Thoth deck, any type that you find inspiring. So with the tarot decks such as Galatia, this deck is based on the 72 spirits of Solomon from the book of Galatia, but it has additional cards as well. And two of the ones that are additional are the Lucifer card, which I find appropriate, and that is related to the devil. Now, the devil in tarot symbolism doesn't represent damnation, hell, all these things. It has dark and sinister symbolism. However, the devil represents the temptations, drives, all of those things from our instincts, our primal instincts, but also that come out as potentially bad habits, overindulgence, etc. So the devil for a Luciferian represents the conscious will and the discipline to channel that energy, those drives, and direct them in a healthy way, to not be ruled by those instincts, but to use them accordingly to benefit yourself and those around you as you deem appropriate. Another card is the Lover's Lilith, which is entirely appropriate as well. And Lilith represents the emotional, carnal instincts, the kind of shadow of the material world. The fire element of Shakti, which ignites and unites in infernal union the matter or the spirit of Lucifer, Samael. These two in union represent infernal union, which is symbolized by the famous, what LaVey called the satanic sigil of Baphomet, or the one that Luciferians sometimes use, which is the original, which has Samael and Lilith. It's and the spelling of Leviathan around. That represents the Ouroboros serpent, which unites those two. The goat or the beast within the center is the Baphomet, the model of the black magician, the Satanist, the Luciferian, you. And it's a model of seeking power, wisdom, strength, balance, 4 pillars of Luciferianism. Now, in the card of the Galatia deck, you have the wand relating to fire. And this is aspects of the black flame. The foundation or the center of illuminated consciousness, instinct, potential, your potential towards higher intelligence, higher driving goals, whatever those are in your life. It doesn't have to be a materialistic thing. It can be a what you would call spiritual enlightenment, an awareness of our connections with all the elements and the ones that we don't recognize or consciously see but still exist, spirit, etc. You have the vessel, which is related to water. It's the Ace of Cups. And if you notice, it's got the vessel of which the spirits are bound. Now, Luciferians don't bind spirits in a harsh way. We work with those energies. Now, these can be used in a way of kind of binding forces that we're working with over a period of time, but we need to perform what would be a modern sacrifice of incense or pouring a libation, offering something to the spirit that we're seeking the energy to be facilitated through us via one's daemon. You have the sword relating to air in this aspect, and air is unto Samael, or the biblical Satan, being the prince and powers of the air, and the Lord of this earth. And that is the air around us for inspiration, for the waves of energy that we send out within the material or physical world. Then you have the foundation of the disc, which is related, of course, to Earth, Ace of Pentacles. And that is our foundation as who we are. If you used any of these cards in a meditative path working, you can perform an invocation as you deem appropriate. And that's up to you. It has to connect with you instinctually. If you don't feel connected to it, then you need to find something you do in working with these. And essentially you would set up an area for meditation or for a focus reading, and incense candles, make your offerings accordingly, an invocation, and focus on a spiritual or energy, a deific mask that relates to, say, the pinnacle or earth, which would be Belial, or Lord of the Forest, or Belial, the rootless one, the one without a master, Lord of the earth. And this represents, in focusing on the Ace of Pentacles, on your state of being currently in the physical world, who you are, where you're at, are your goals versus your aspirations versus the reality of that. What do you have to move towards? What do you wish to change? How do you wish to evolve? Now, these can be a wide array of things, but you need to focus on one thing. Focus on one aspect of the foundation and moving towards the next. This type of meditation will connect you with that energy. And as you strive forward towards your goals in the weeks and months and maybe year after that, you're building and currently directing energy towards that goal. Using something as the Lucifer card represents spiritual rebellion, mastery of the carnal and material aims, but also your spiritual aims. And ways to invoke Lucifer are in many of my grimoires, and you can pick nearly any that have an association and adapt an invocation, a simple one that, or as simple as you wish it to be, and proceed with that. And repetition and focus and meditation or exercise during these workings entering and opening gnosis or seeking insight or wisdom will bring you closer to the Luciferian spirit. But the black flame is internal, so this will relate to your potential alone. The same with Lilith. It's not just a masculine, feminine type archetype. You have to associate the traits with your aims in life, your workings. Now, if you use something, and if you have the Luciferian Tarot, something like the Knight of Wands with Samael can be a useful card. You focus on the attributes of each card, the symbolism, the Yaltabroth or Samael, Gnostic adversary, the Lord of the Earth, the Lord of this world, but also Samael as a fiery type angel with a serpent's tongue, the red reflecting the black flame, demonic energy, the blood-stained crescent in the background, and that reflects to Lilith and as Shakti, the fiery aspect, with the serpents and riding upon the air, inspiration and energy directed towards purpose. You have the Ace of Wands, which shows the primal adversary, the satanic draconian serpent aspect with the fire of the black flame, and that is potential towards evolving and refining your consciousness. Tarot can be used in this way as a means of entering the astral plane, the mediation between your imagination and what is beyond our physical forms. And working with these should be conducted for a period of time, no more usually than a month, or depending on how you structure your workings, whether it's waning moon or waxing moon, whatever it is. But having the discipline to see it through, even when it becomes boring or what you would appear as not bearing fruit for you. If nothing's happening, then you need to charge yourself and intoxicate yourself with invocation. I'm not talking about drinking or anything like that, but entering gnosis and using your imagination to make those symbols come alive within you and identifying with them. Once you identify with them, you can direct those energies accordingly. This is a very basic way of utilizing tarot towards a more consistent, meaningful purpose. And tarot can also be used towards guiding, as long as it aligns with your instincts. Never bow or submit or take advice from what is outside of yourself in terms of what is good for you. You have to connect with that instinct for it to bear fruit and to truly walk the left-hand path. I hope you've enjoyed this video. More are coming soon as I'm working on several forthcoming books, grimoires, which I will unveil in